So DD2 now brings us back into competition here at the Home of Champions. We have two more after this one, so let's have a look at the starting grid for DD2. So on pole position, based on the intermediate classification, it is going to be Xander Triblack that will be on pole position. Glenn Van Parijs will be alongside him. He set a new lap record in DD2 for qualifying around here by nearly half a second yesterday morning. He starts on second position. Behind him will be the pairing of Francis Paulo Bissan-Senez in the 405 and McNulton in the 403 from the Netherlands. Janne Gussens from Belgium and Ville Viljalainen from Finland in the 422. They round out the top three rows. Row 4 is the 447 of Belgium's Sébastien Degrand with Anthony Millet in the 444 from France alongside. Imke Arts in the 421 from the Netherlands and Amaric Guérin in the 404 from France will complete the top 10. Matthias Lund from Denmark in the 408. Jori Klebot in the 410 from Belgium. Ricards Subekis in the 471 from Latvia. Germany's Hannes Border in the 468 with Mikkel Tigerson in the 432 from Denmark and France's Enzo Boulogne in the 469, rounding out the 16-strong grid. 13 minutes on the clock plus an additional lap. The red lights will be ignited on the starting gantry as we are seconds out and waiting for this race to get underway. So we'll be down to Triblack and Van Parijs to start things off. A really nice bit of information, courtesy of my good friend on circuit commentary this weekend, Guillaume Alvarez, that Glenn Van Parijs will be doing the entire BNL karting series season. However, he will be returning to the Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux and is set to have a test at the end of the month at Zandvoort, I believe, and I think they're going to be racing the new 992 variation of the 911 GT3 Cup car. So really good to hear that he's back in tin tops again. But it is down to now concentrating on what is happening here. 13 minutes on the clock. The DD2 drivers head into the tram lines. Are we ready? Are we steady? Looks like we've got another good start here today. And Xander Triblack takes the initial lead as Bissan-Senez tries to go up the inside of Van Parijs for second position through turn 2. Van Parijs retakes the position, but then Bissan-Senez back up the inside through turn 4. A little bit wide there for Van Parijs, and that allows the Frenchman to go up the inside through turn 5. Janne Gussens now past McNulton. So Knowlton down to P5 as Van Parijs starting to try and fight with Bissan-Senez for second position, but what this has allowed is that Xander Triblack has done a Sebastian Vettel-style getaway, like when Vettel was back at Red Bull in his earlier days in Formula 1, unlike Aston Martin cognizant Formula 1, who is now partnered with Lance Stroll for 2021 this season. But let's see what the gap is between Xander Triblack and Paulo Bissan-Senez. It is nearly 1.4 seconds after the very first lap. So very impressive straight away. That's the Xander of old, I believe, when he used to canter away into the distance like a prized racehorse. However, there's still 11 minutes and 40 to go. Oh, very, very sideways from Ville Viljalainen. He put on the brakes there, going through into turn 7. And that was a great move. Ville Viljalainen doing his best to get past as Anthony Millet gets through past McNulton through the right-hand sweeper at turn 10. Sebastian Degrand is next up, followed by Matthias Lund. There's a little bit of a distance between them as it looks like Subekis has got past Imke Arts through turn 12. So firing it up the inside from absolutely nowhere. Glenn Van Parijs on Paulo Bissan-Senez. Mighty, mighty work from the reigning and defending champion, who did a double campaign last season. Took the BNL Karting Series title for 2020 after 2 successive championship winning seasons for Xander Triblack, who took the Euro Trophy crown last year, and Van Parijs was second. So both drivers were on the top of the tree for both Belgium and also for the Euro Trophy and the BNL Karting Series in 2020. Oh, Matthias Lund looked towards the inside. Oh, Sebastian de Grand going through turn 10. Looks like we've already got a first casualty. And that is the 469 of Enzo Boulogne, who hasn't even made it past the finish line for the first lap at all, as we still have 10 minutes to go. And Glenn van Parijs has started reeling in Zander Triblack. The last lap, he was 0.264 seconds quicker than Triblack, but Ville Villelainen has put in the fastest lap of anybody, a 54.1 second lap time dead. No additional decimal points needed there. And he is now closing on Paulo Besancenes. So what is really good from Van Parijs is that very, very well experienced. He's raced in multiple categories here in the BNL Karting Series, which includes junior and senior Rotax, before making the transition to sports cars. And now the gap is down. Oh, he's taking time, hand over fist, out of Triblack. But what Van Parijs is also doing is Besancenes and Viliainen are now coming into the fray. So not only will it be Triblack versus Van Parijs, we could have a 4-driver brawl with Besancenes and Viliainen coming into this. Yannick Gustens and Anthony Millet, they're not that far adrift. They're about nearly 9/10 of a second off of the back bumper of the Flying Finn in the 422. And Mick Knowlton is coming along with them. 8 minutes and 40 still to go. That gap is probably going to be less than half a second, because it was 0.882 last time around. And one of the biggest things is that Glenn van Parijs has seen the target on the back of Zander Triblack's bumper. He's just put in both him and Ville Villelainen. They've both gone sub 54. And in the meantime, Villelainen has gone past Besancenes through turn 2 to now take P3. So Zander Triblack, okay, last 3 laps, his out of the last 3 laps, 2 laps ago was his worst time of 54.574. He's just done a 54.436. Okay, let this set in. Glenn van Parijs, 53.917. Paulo Besancenes, 53.916. Ville Villelainen, 53.890. And Villelainen is now, again, the fastest driver out on track. And you can hear... You can probably hear a pin drop right now, as there goes the move. Van Parijs up the inside through turn 12 on Zander Triblack. The pair nearly go side by side coming through the exit, but Van Parijs now on lap number 7, as they start it going through turns 1 and 2, keeps the lead ahead of Zander Triblack. But here comes Ville Villelainen with plenty of Sisu in his pockets. He will have a chance now to go for the lead, as will France's Paulo Besancenes. Besancenes' last appearance in the BNL Karting Series was last October, and was literally nip and tuck. It went to count back between him and Zander Triblack on who was going to end up second on the podium. As Villelainen now goes up the inside through the right-hander at turn 10 on Zander Triblack. Great racing room and respect, as now Triblack gets pounced on by Besancenes, but the Belgian retaliates through the exit of turn 12, uses the think tactic to motion to Besancenes, saying, right, we need to go for it. Well, Besancenes decides to go for it and sends it up the inside of Triblack. And on that particular occasion, Besancenes was nearly half a second quicker than Triblack. Now, obviously, Triblack's using new machinery. He's on a Kart Republic chassis, as opposed to Tony Kart that he was using for the past 3 years, since I first commentated on him back in 2018. So he's been running on Tony Kart for the last few years. Kart Republic machine is a little bit of a different animal to learn, but Zander to be pretty quick in qualifying. No, not his customary pole position that we would normally see if he was with Boeven Bauer. However, the good thing is that now he will get to learn this machinery. I understand he's got a dual campaign, so it's not just DD2. He'll also be running in gearbox classes this season in other championships. but good to have him back here as always. Our championship leader from our championship winner from 2018 and 2019. So in that particular occasion, he now has a bit of a learning phase. So with what's going on at the moment, Van Parijs still leading, Vilivilainen still in second, Paulo Besancenez still in third place, Zana Triblak and Anthony Millet rounding out the top 5. Got less than 5 minutes to go in this race, and these drivers now have to keep on pushing, but Viliainen trying to close in on Van Parijs. Van Parijs was slightly quicker, but Paulo Besancenez in the meantime has set the fastest lap of the race last time around on the completion of lap number 9. Anthony Millet rounds out the top 5 behind Zana Triblak, who is looking a little bit lonesome, as the gaps between him, Paulo Besancenez and Anthony Millet have now extended, as has the gap between Millet and Knowlton. Yannick Gustens in 7th, Matthias Lund, Sebastian de Grand, and Ricards Subekis from Latvia. They round out the top 10 positions. Aymeric Guérin, Hannes Border has moved up the order from 14th to 12th position, having now got past Imke Arts from the Netherlands. And she rounds out the top 13 with Mikkel Tigerson from Denmark in the 4:32. Now completing the top 14, the only 14 drivers out of 16 left in this race. However, the drivers still keep on circling around personal best at the moment. Zana Triblak is 67 thousandths from hitting a sub 54 second lap time. Yuri Klebor on his fourth lap would have been he was running pretty quickly in the low 55 ones, but his race ended on lap 5 with Enzo Boulogne having his race curtailed on the very first lap indeed. But it is still a case of how soon is everything going to intensify between the top 3. Van Parijs, Vilivilainen and Paulo Besancenez. They round out the top 3 positions at this particular moment in time. Zana Triblak not factoring in the latter stages. It seems like his pace might have slightly dropped off in comparison with the rest of them, because Paulo Besancenez, his pace, he's gone quicker and quicker. He's just put in a 53.665 on that last lap on the completion of lap 10. Triblak now in the high 53.9s, so his pace is starting to come to him, but with 2.5 minutes still to go, can the 2-time BNL Karting Series champion from 2018 and 2019 start firing back? But can Anthony Millet have something to say about it, because the Frenchman was nearly a 10.5 quicker last time around? It was a 53.855 from Anthony Millet, a 53.993 from Zana Triblak. Leaders coming across the line, just over 2 minutes to go, plus 1 lap. Gap now between Glenn Van Parijs and Vilivilainen was just over 2/10. It is less than that now as they go through turns 3, 4, into the left-hander at 5 before the right at 6 that brings them onto the Europlan. Glenn Van Parijs trying to keep it nice and consistent. Paulo Besancenez, a 53.674. He's the quickest out of the trio at the front of the field, as Millet did a 53.9. Was nearly 3/10 quicker than Zana Triblak. So Triblak again in the 54s, the 54.2s on that particular occasion. But now Vilivilainen looking to strike whilst the iron is hot. 1 minute 20 still to go. Besancenez still thinks he's got an opportunity, and I sense that as well, judging by the pace that he's been showing in the last few laps. Last 3 laps he's gone anywhere between a 53.665 and a 53.787. So Besancenez has been the most consistent and the quickest driver at this particular moment in time. So, yeah. Oh, my goodness me. Vilivilainen now strikes. Through turn 6 onto the Europlan goes the Flying Finn into the lead of the race. Paulo Besancenez waiting in the wings. Glenn Van Parijs now has the ultimate decision. Do I attack or do I defend? And if I attack, can that cause me compromising situation with Paulo Besancenes? But with the way that Besancenes has been racing, Besancenes fires it up the inside through turn 10. And Glenn Van Parijs ends up going over the runoff area as a result of Besancenes' last ditch. That was a last-minute Danny Rick right there. He definitely licked the stamp and sent it there, did the Frenchman. However, that's compromised him in terms of trying to keep pace with Villelainen and Paulo Besancenes. That was a shock. Well, obviously, because when you're battling away, it's going to lose you time. He lost the best part of 5.5 tenths of a second. And Villelainen now is on the penultimate lap of the race, going through turn 7 off of the Europolan for the penultimate time. So, Besancenes trying to close in. I don't think he's going to have enough of an opportunity. So, on turn 10, the top 3 go through. Zander Schiblak still in 4th. Anthony Millet. Mick Knowlton, Yanni Goossens, Sebastian de Grand. And then you've got the likes of, at the back of the field, that is Imke Arts, I think Hannes Border just behind. And then Mikkel Tigerson from Denmark. As we go on to the last lap, leader now going through turns 3 into 4 into 5. So Villelainen will go into the final with a bag full of confidence, and also the fact that he will have provisional pole position for their final, which takes place at 13:55. So a great job by him to get himself to that particular start of it all. And Villelainen started from P6, now leading with just a couple of more corners remaining. Into the left at 11 for the final time. And then right-hand sweeper at 12. Villelainen will provisionally take the victory with the checkered flag. That now waves after 16 laps of competition here in DD2. And a great job also by Paulo Besancenes. Could have fought for the lead, but ended up finishing second best behind the pin. Glenn Van Parijs rounds out the top 3, having started on the front row. Zander Schiblak's got a big mountain to climb after finishing P4, having started on pole position. Anthony Millet started P8 and finished in 5th place. Mick Knowlton would drop 2 positions from 4th to 6th at the flag. Yanni Goossens from 5th finished in 7th. So let's have a look at the final finishing order, the provisional finishing order for pre-final for DD2 here at the BNL Karting Series kickoff. So Villelainen from Finland with RS Competition takes the victory by 0.465 seconds ahead of Paulo Besancenes from KMD. And Glenn Van Parijs in 3rd place. Zander Schiblak for SP Motorsport in 4th. Anthony Millet in 5th. Mick Knowlton in 6th ahead of Yanni Goossens. Sebastian de Grand finished in 8th, having started 7th. Ricards Sulbekis made up 5 positions, starting from P13, finishing in P8 at the checkered flag. Matthias Lund started in 11th, would make 1 positional gain to 10th. Amaric Guérin started 10th, finished in 11th. Hannes Border started in 14th and would finish P12 ahead of Imke Arts. Mikkel Tigerson, who started in 15th, with Jordi Klebot retiring on lap 5 and Enzo Boulogne on lap 1.